Welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brywell alongside Blake Spark, men's golf coach here at the University of Memphis. And coach, fall season wrapped up about a month ago at the Quail Valley. But overall, before we kind of get into Quail Valley, your overall thoughts so far, well, now that the fall season is completed?
Yeah, we had a really solid fall. 2 wins, a second. The second kind of hurt the way that it went down, but it still sounds good. Winning is great, right? It gets everybody fired up, it gets boosters excited, everybody who's involved in the program. So a lot of fun. And then, of course, with Thomas and Lars having a great fall, beginning to end, is a big deal. So a lot of fun this fall. It's always fun when things are kind of heading the right direction. So enjoyed it.
Winning's great, no doubt about that. Your spring season's where you make a push for NCAA. Other than getting the wins and having a very successful fall, did you accomplish what you wanted in the fall, getting ready toward the spring?
Yeah, I think maybe most important, the guys realize they're good and the potential is there. I think when you start looking at how it all broke down, Lars and Thomas did all the heavy lifting, and we've got to find 3 other guys that can come in and push and help. Too much of Lars and Thomas's work was canceling out other things, and long term, you don't want to see that. You want to have them keep doing what they're doing, but have guys pushing too, and the next thing you know, you've got some really balanced scoring.
You mentioned that Quail Valley, that was the last tournament you had played in. You got 5th overall on that one, but Lars Van Mile, as you mentioned, had a really good fall, ended up finishing tied for 2nd overall.
Yeah, tied for 2nd. That was our best field of the fall. Going down to Florida, we have conference championship in Florida, so it's a good prep to kind of see where we're at. You get some wind blowing, you get some different conditions, different turf. Great golf tournament. The golf course fit Lars well. His prep was really good. Thomas actually snuck in, I think, and finished 6th, and that was with a quadruple bogey. So ultimately, he probably played about as good as Lars too. So again, those two, the worst finish they had between the two of them was 6th, all fall. So incredible golf. They both just made a Palmer Cup watch list on the European side. So great things happening for them, but again, it's getting the other guys to not just be okay with that and to go try to help.
Well, they've got a little time to kind of move up to their level if you want that
Sure.
full team chemistry going into the spring. You've got an unusual break. It's always kind of a big gap in golf, but you got a 4-month break. Some scheduling is always kind of fluid, and then I know weather played a big factor in how you wanted to do this. It's great to play an early tournament, but sometime, how much are you getting out of playing when it's 35 degrees,
Sure.
misty, and windy?
Well, last spring we opened up down in Mobile, and I get it was kind of fluky, but we slid about halfway down there with the weather that was going on, and the tournament was kind of miserable. So that, with some other things happening, we're not playing until basically spring break. So from late October to spring break is about 4 months. So I challenged the guys to find something to play in over the break. I think it's huge. 4 months of just sitting around prepping is boring for one,
Right.
But there's nothing like putting a tee in the ground in a tournament. So almost everybody's playing over the break, which hopefully they have good results, but worst case, they're going out, they're getting some work done, some real-time experience. So it'll be different, but hopefully good, and maybe we can dodge some terrible golf early spring where you would normally go because you have to, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time luxury.
Now, once they get on their Christmas break or their between semester break, how much contact can you have with these guys? I know the Flott Center is always open
Sure.
for them. They can get in there and do as much work as they want to on their own. How much can you deal with them until they come back for the spring semester?
Well, it's pretty hands off. The way I've set up everything, they all have their private instructors. So once the fall ended at Quail Valley, we had them come in and we just made sure everybody had a plan. Whether it's maintaining what you're doing and maybe cleaning up a couple small things here or there, or you need to do some significant work with your instructor or mentally or whatever it was that we identified through stats and just seeing things. One great thing is I had 8 different guys play in the lineup. So everybody who's eligible got experience. You don't really get that if you just had to sit at home all semester. So some really good feedback, some great talks. I think the group is excited about what we can do, but of course it's a long year. I don't know if there's another sport that does what we do in terms of it's a team sport all year long, and you have a huge gap, but it all counts. There isn't an exhibition season, so it's a long time till the national championship.
Well, when we say spring season, it will be spring, like you mentioned, almost spring break, March 7th and 8th, Colleton River Collegiate over in Bluffton, South Carolina. So hopefully going to South Carolina in March, you're going to have some good weather.
Yeah, I think so. That course just hosted a U.S. Junior over the summer, so I went and got to see the property. Beautiful place. hopefully a good experience. It's a bit of a trek, but being spring break, we'll make some stops on the way and on the way back, and hopefully have a nice week and get a good result. The field's good. The spring schedule is significantly stronger and kind of builds towards conference championship. So we'll have a really good idea heading down to Lecanto, Florida for conference to see where we're at.
That'll be May 1st through 3rd down in Lecanto, Florida. And I guess with March, from the first part of March to the first part of May, starting a little bit later, you'll get some consistency. I guess that's the hope, because you'll be playing a lot of golf in those 2 months.
Yeah, and it's funny too how scheduling wise I'm doing something that we're playing. It's basically every 2 weeks, whereas a lot of times you'll go on a 3 week in a row run. Guys get tired. You don't have time to practice. You maybe not have time to qualify, so you're having to pick people, which I don't really like doing. So this is kind of every 2 weeks we're going to play. So my hope is we can go play, come back, get some work, some qualifying, and maybe a little bit more prep time, and then travel. And hopefully that will be consistent and settling for the guys, because traveling a lot in a row can be, we all do it, all the different sports do it, but in golf you're gone for 4 or 5 days, which is a little bit different. The packing, the coming back, laundry, catching up with schoolwork, because we wind up missing a ton of class. So hopefully this will be a little more regimented and smoother. We'll see how it goes.
And finally, Coach, when you get down to Lecanto, Florida, May 1st through 3rd for the American Championships, American could be a very, very tough field again.
Yeah, it's a great conference. It's a great challenge. We got good teams in the league. Every week that you get to play those teams, it's a dogfight. South Florida's really solid again. SMU, it's got some stuff going on, but they're a really good program. Houston's great. East Carolina's on an upswing this year. So nothing's going to come easy, as it never does, especially the conference championship. So looking forward to the opportunity. I know, if Lars and Thomas are there and they're slinging it around and making birdies, then we're going to have a chance. Because by then, a lot of guys will have some experience. With 6 new guys starting the year, a lot of question marks. So by then, everybody's kind of a sophomore.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they're at.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Hey, Coach Blake Smart, I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.